From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're between storm systems today. We saw the one move through yesterday and last night. And then, of course, really behind that storm, we're dealing with cool and unsettled weather pattern here for today. Overall, not a lot of rain, not a lot of snow. I do expect the next storm system to arrive tomorrow, and that'll bring us more rain, more mountain snow. So I do expect more possible chain requirements east of I-5 again with Friday's storm system, although I do expect snow levels to be just a tad higher, meaning there may be a less in the way of chain requirements, but certainly something worth watching for Friday, especially Friday night. Dry and warmer this weekend into the next week, and speaking of next week, looks like it'll be most likely dry and warmer through next week. There's your neighborhood forecast at a glance. Yeah, maybe an isolated shower or two. This looks pretty ominous. You look at this, you see all the rain, you see some of the snow coming from the clouds. Looks like a big deal, doesn't it? But quite honestly, it's going to be off and on, isolated sprinkles, maybe a light shower. We're not expecting a lot of rain or snow in the higher elevations. There's the storm system that passed through. It's now well down to our south and east, but behind it is the cold and unstable air. So what's happening is this. We're seeing mostly cloudy skies. We're seeing breaks in the clouds. Some of those clouds are producing a few sprinkles or light showers. Other clouds, no rain at all. And it's going to be just kind of sprinkled across Northern California. It's the storm system off here, right? That's what's coming on Friday. That's what's going to bring us our next round of some heavier rainfall and even snow in the mountains. So looking at Futurecast, here's 3 o'clock this afternoon. See how I'm talking about sprinkled across the area? The valley looks pretty dry. Could we see a passing sprinkle in the valley this afternoon and evening? Sure, but it's not showing up on Futurecast. And even by 6 p.m., by the time most of the kids are out trick-or-treating, dry across the board. Look at that, maybe a little bit of activity, but nothing to be concerned about if you have trick-or-treaters out in the inland areas or the coast. 10 o'clock tonight, it's fairly dry. Now we have the approaching storm system coming in on Friday, though. By Friday morning, there's the rain coming into Del Norte County, northern Humboldt County. By noon, it pushes eastward. Now it's over Siskiyou, Trinity County, Del Norte and Humboldt counties. Dry elsewhere through noon on Friday. That's tomorrow. Then, as we go through the afternoon to about 5 p.m., now we're just looking at widespread scattered showers. And by the way, isolated thunderstorm not out of the question, especially for the north coast. But even other areas could see an isolated thunderstorm as well. We're not seeing a lot of blue on the map here indicating, yes, it is a slightly warmer storm system on Friday, but we could still see some more snow, especially to the east of I-5, where we could see some chain requirements mainly above 5,000 feet. But even at midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning, we're still seeing some of those showers, some moderate to heavy rainfall at times for some of us, including the valley. But by 8 o'clock Saturday morning, most of it is off to the east into Plumas County. We're fairly dry for the valley. So early Saturday morning, valley, Siskiyou County, eastward, maybe a stray shower, maybe a stray sprinkle. That is it. Now I will say this, we have a system that is just clipping Northern California through the day on Saturday. What that will mean is, on Saturday, through the day, don't be surprised if northern Del Norte, northern Siskiyou, and really most of Modoc County and even Lassen and Plumas counties, if you see a stray sprinkle or a light shower on Saturday, don't be surprised. You can see even in the afternoon, we're still seeing some of that activity here, right? But everywhere else, Trinity County, Humboldt County, all of the valleys, surrounding foothills, all looking at dry conditions through the entire day on Saturday. And that'll be the case on Sunday as well. Not expecting a lot of rainfall overall through Saturday 5 p.m. Most of it's off to the east. Heaviest amount of rainfall will be off to the west over Del Norte, Humboldt counties. Even Trinity County getting over possibly a half an inch in some spots here. But for the valley, you're anywhere from 7/100 in Redding to about 4/10 in Chico. So yes, with Friday's system, I think parts of the valley could see a quarter to at most a half of an inch. But I think the half an inch might be pushing it. I'd say a quarter of an inch, give or take, for most of the valley, and then of course a little bit less, or maybe a little bit more than that actually, heading to the east of the valley. Overall, not a lot of snow either. On top of what we've already seen, we could see close to a foot of snow for some of the highest peaks, south side of the Warner Mountains, Marble Mountains, Trinity Alps, and even into the Northern Sierra. But it's not going to be a lot. We could still see close to it. Maybe a dusting of snow towards Alturas, maybe a dusting snow of Chester, say about at the lowest 4,000 feet, but probably closer to 4,500 to 5,000 feet. So Viola, for example, you might even see Upper Shingletown as well, but that'll be kind of hard pressed as well. So that's what we're looking at. Not a big deal, but there still could be some chain requirements, especially as we go to Friday evening, Friday night. So there's Thursday. Of course, that's today. See the scattered showers that we're seeing out there? Not a lot. And then you can see Friday's system coming in. That's going to bring us some heavier rainfall, snow in the mountains. And then, again, you see how it's just clipping Northern California, so Del Norte, Siskiyou, Modoc, even into Lassen and Plumas counties for Saturday. Then by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all of next week is looking dry and warmer. But we could set ourselves up with some strong winds come Thursday, maybe even a Wednesday into Thursday. With those strong winds, even though we'll be in November at this point, we could be looking at elevated fire weather risk with those strong north winds and dry conditions. Keep in mind, typically, many times we see the fire season end around November 1st. But sometimes we can have that fire season go into November. So that's what we got to watch for this wind event here toward the middle and latter part of next week. And then it stays dry through Friday, but I've got my eyes on this because this ridge of high pressure will break down. It'll pretty much die out, and it will open the door for these storm systems out over the Pacific to maybe move in. Not quite at the end of next week, but say not this weekend, but a week from this weekend, possibly seeing some of this wet weather kind of impacting us. So again, this week, cool and unsettled. We've seen some of the rain that'll continue through Saturday morning. We're dry for the weekend, all next week, and then maybe some more wet weather coming in behind that. We'll take it. All right, let's take a look at that trick-or-treat forecast. Maybe the kids heading out there. Should be dry. Should be dry. Looks pretty good here for the trick-or-treaters here. I just expect to, of course, just see those temperatures on the cool side, and that's the case for the North Coast, inland, and for Trinity County as well. Again, maybe a passing sprinkle for some of us, but overall, I don't expect much. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got going on here for today. Upper 50s to low 60s in the valley. Struggling to get out of the 50s for the north end of the valley. 40s for most of the higher elevations, although in Trinity County, low 50s. Upper 50s for the inland areas, and about 55 to 60 here for the coast. And then, of course, we got, a couple of passing sprinkles, maybe a light shower here for this afternoon, but I really would not count on much. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. Isolated, maybe a chance in Chico, but for the most part, honestly, a dry day in the valley today. Tomorrow, though, that's the rain moves in. Maybe an isolated shower early in the morning Saturday. Otherwise, dry through the weekend and dry most likely even through next week. The North Coast, I've got you dry all day Saturday. Not even any Saturday morning showers. That's the case for the coast, inland, and Trinity County. And then dry through next week. All right, we take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains. Maybe some morning showers for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and really even maybe through the day for places like Lassen and Plumas counties. Otherwise, it's dry, especially by the second half of the weekend, entirely dry by the second half of the weekend. And we're looking at dry conditions here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and slightly warmer conditions. Have yourselves a great rest of your afternoon and stay safe for those trick-or-treaters, that is. I'll be back again at 6 o'clock this evening for your latest forecast.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Moth Painting.
It's Wogamoth painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.